Hi, White Lotus fans. Welcome to Tori Talks with Dr. S. I'm Tori. This is Dr. S. Today we'll discuss Season 3 of The White Lotus, Episode 8, the finale episode, which is called Amor Fati. So that means fate of love.
Love of fate?
Love of fate. Wait, I have it here. Love of fate.
Okay.
Good job. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so let's begin. Kind of want to get them out of the way, the three friends, the girls, because it's a little awkward at first because you know how you kind of have a tiff with your friends and then you want to put it past you, but it's still a little awkward between you, you know? But then at their last dinner, it ends with a very heartfelt speech from Lori.
It was beautiful.
It was really well done. Yeah. How did you feel about what she said? Because she says that her beliefs have changed as she's gotten older, and age has changed her beliefs. And I thought these are things like I wouldn't even think of. And I think I'm supposed to be kind of in that age group or whatever, like you kind of are. So it does make you think.
It totally made me think. And I know at the beginning of this season, I heard that Mike White was saying, "Oh, this is all about spirituality, right? That's what sets this season apart." And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And it's set in Thailand. And, you know, in Thailand, it's like 97% Buddhist.
Wow, that much?
Yes, it's a huge percentage. Gosh. So I kind of wondered how that was going to play in. But I loved this scene. It was probably one of my favorite scenes in the whole season, just because of how it, like, reconceptualized, like, that whole friendship and fighting. And I thought it was going to end so ugly. And it wound up ending so beautiful.
Yes.
And very real, or, like, real, like, I would hope that that's how my friendships would be, like how we could work through, you know, like a tense week, right? And like, I don't know, I just thought it was really beautiful. And I forgot how she said it, like about the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like time. Like she doesn't have like religion, but she has like something about the time. It's just beautiful.
So she does do she speaks directly to Jacqueline and then directly to Kate, and I think it was like kind of a peace offering, right? To just, because at the core of it, they are really good friends and they've known each other forever, so they can get past anything, right?
Yeah.
So I also was afraid that they were going to leave Thailand just with this awkward, bitter feeling.
Yeah.
But that's exactly, I'm glad they got to the core of it, to the root of friendship is love. And they said they love each other.
And they started life together. And even though they're not like together, they're still, you know, like living alongside each other.
Yes.
Yes. It was, I really liked that scene.
I was really relieved with that.
Yes.
All right. The rat lifts. I absolutely loved when Piper admits that she doesn't want to live that life. And she says she's spoiled and she doesn't want to stay in Thailand. And I think that is actually the most realistic thing that could have happened with Piper. There's no way you come from that life and then you're just okay. I mean, some people, I'm not saying, but just the kind of the way they presented the rat lifts as there's no way. But also, like, they all have faults, right? Because she was kind of the standout of the
She was
family.
like the one with morals that wanted to do good. I really, really related to her way of thinking because she's like, there's so much suffering in the world. And she feels guilty about all that she has, right?
Yes.
But then she also then spends like a short time and then she's like, no, I can't do it. It's so real.
It's so real. I was so glad that that's how it ended.
Yeah, it was so raw and real, and I really loved like that like honesty.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny because when she was telling, you know, her mom asked how it went, and then she told her, and when she actually said it, that the food is bland, and just basically that she came to the conclusion that she's too spoiled for it. I kind of laughed because I was like, that's just that's so real. That's exactly how you'd feel.
And the performances in that scene, oh my gosh, how the mom was like so happy, and like,
dad,
oh my gosh, I know.
He's kind of hoping that would work out.
He's processing everybody's relationship to their lifestyle, and basically making a mental list of like who can make it, like who can handle this news. And it doesn't like destroy them.
Yeah.
That was so, this whole family dynamic was also just amazing.
Yes.
Like so well done.
So this now, okay, how did he come to the conclusion? Because later he decides he's going to kill his whole family.
Almost.
As to not let them suffer, except Lachlan. He makes the pina coladas with that very poisonous and deadly I guess,
The
fruit.
seeds, yeah.
Yeah. And he's all ready for them to drink it. They even start drinking it. But why does he not give a drink to Lachlan? Besides the fact that he's not 21, but still.
So he had done his assessment, right? So like with Piper, she said, no, I'm spoiled. I can't give up this lifestyle. But he directly asked Lachlan, could you like not have money? And he was like, yeah, I could.
I see.
And I think because his life wouldn't be so impacted by it, because everyone else is like, no, like this is our life, we couldn't give it up. I think that's why.
The thing that doesn't make sense to me is, yeah, you could live without money, but the rest of your family, you
that was warped.
So I was like,
the decision-making
him
process
alive,
was
but-
not solid.
yeah,
for sure.
right. It wasn't well thought
yeah.
out. But so did you think they were gonna die?
So-
did you think he was gonna like
They
follow through?
they like drank a little bit. So I was
Right.
like, oh, they're actually good. My mind was all over the place. I was like, oh my God, this is actually happening?
Yeah.
Like they were taking little sips and talking about the flavor. So I was like, oh my God, they're really doing this. So yeah, I did think it.
So the only reason why I didn't is because that would be too many.
Deaths?
Yes.
Yes.
So I didn't know that's how it was going to happen, how he was going to knock it out of Saxon's hand. I didn't know how that. I just thought eventually he would come to his senses and not let it happen, which is
Yes.
what happened. But he left a lot in the bottom of the blender.
When
and
you saw
Lachlan-
that, you knew, right, that something was going to happen
Yes.
with that, of course.
Lachlan, wants to be like his brother in the way that he wants to make protein shakes and whatever Saxon's doing, That's I guess that's his role model.
Yeah.
He wants to do it. So why would you not clean out the blender? You saw your family clearly make faces that it didn't taste good. But also, he's a kid. Watching Lachlan die. Well, first of all, they did it very beautifully.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Him underwater,
Yes.
reaching, and there's 4.
Like the monk heads silhouette,
Yes, but
yes.
it kind of like represented the 4 people in his family that are
Mm-hmm.
right. So it was so beautifully done. But oh my God, my heart was pounding. Not Lachlan, and not that he's perfect or
Right.
anything,
But poor guy.
that was so sad.
He's such a sympathetic character in his weirdness. Like even when he explained to Saxon why he pleasured him on that night,
He's a
he was like,
pleaser.
you just seemed left out and I just wanted to involve you and I'm a pleaser. And I was like, how
Okay,
did he?
but-
It is, yeah, I'm not saying, but like just the way that he could explain
I know
it.
what you mean.
And it would have been like such a kind act.
Just thinking of his
like,
brother.
Oh my gosh.
Making sure everybody's included.
But it was heartbreaking. I thought he was dead.
Yeah, I thought he was dead too.
I was like, no, this is not okay.
Everybody goes to breakfast except for his dad. His dad is the one that finds him. But turns out he didn't die. He does come to. So obviously there wasn't enough of the poison to kill him. But I will tell you, there are a lot of psychedelics or certain poisonous fruits or things in the wild that will make you feel like you're dying. So when he said, I saw God, so I was a hospice nurse for a long time, and the research says that there's a chemical that's released when you think you're dying that makes you feel euphoric. It makes you're just trying to make you feel less scared. So him seeing visions of his mom and his family members. I don't think Saxon was in that vision, but I don't know. But just the way that it was done, it makes you feel a little more at ease with the fact that you're dying. But my point of saying that, or my point of telling you that is, even some psychedelics will make you feel, because you're poisoned so much, because it is poison, that your brain thinks you're dying, and that's why you hallucinate.
Oh, wow.
So, but also what I'm saying is it can make you incredibly sick. So even though you feel like you're dying, you don't actually die. You just get really sick and then, so that didn't seem unrealistic to me that he would come back.
Yeah.
But
I was hoping. I kept thinking.
Oh, I thought he was gone. I didn't think he would, but then when he did come back, I was like, that's totally possible.
Oh, yay. I was so glad. I was like, that's too much.
That was so sad.
Yes.
Why was I so affected by him? That actor does such a good job of making you think like, oh, he's just like, oh, I'll go with Piper. I'm just like, he's like a little kid. He's just, okay, whatever. What are we doing now, guys?
He's just a nice guy. He's just trying to make his family happy and kind of like figure himself out,
Yeah.
Poor guy.
But they all leave the island on the boat, and then the dad still doesn't tell them what has happened back home, but he does say that life will be different.
Yeah.
And that we're family. We can get through anything together. I wish I could see
Right?
how they would react, though.
I would love to see that. That was torture.
I didn't get much closure with that.
I wonder if we'll ever hear from them again, like in a future season.
Oh, that would be cool.
I wouldn't know.
Oh, I think he'll be in jail.
Well, that's true, yeah.
But who knows? Maybe he's a really good lawyer. Okay. Belinda. So this was, confusing for me. So Belinda goes over to see Greg Gary with her son Zion, who is the negotiator extraordinaire. He does
Did not see that coming.
Great job,
right?
Yes.
When we first met him, I thought he was like a nice kid. Didn't know he had this whole financial
impressive
background thing. So I was like, okay, another layer to this kid.
Yes. So I like the little fake out where Belinda acts like I'm not going to do this and leaves, and then she says, "No, you go back in there." It was really well done. I was surprised a little bit, but he comes back. He's like, he's got your account number, all your info, and it could be in there as soon as today. So she checks. She's got the $5 million. It is secured. I'm so happy for them. She can do whatever she wants to do. They're ready to leave the island the next day, but she tells Ponchai that she's leaving. She did exactly what Tanya did.
Yeah.
To her.
Oh yeah.
She did that
Good
to him.
point.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's making you believe that we're going to do this together, and then I'm out. I was a little disappointed, but then can you blame her? Like,
she kind of has to get away from Gary, I would, because he's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I hope that she keeps the lines of communication open with Ponchai because he's so sweet to her.
Or fly him out.
Yeah.
Bring him to wherever you're going to open your spot. If she even decides to do that at this point, maybe she doesn't need to.
I like how she's like, can I just be rich?
Yeah, enjoy it. You enjoy that, but
you can bring him with you because he's hot.
Yeah, you don't want to waste that.
What's wrong with that? Like, bring him. He doesn't need to work.
The look on his face really made me sad because it reminded me of her face when Tanya didn't go through with it. Anyway,
that's a really good point. I didn't even think of that. Now I feel really bad for him too. And he's been the whole season like so nice to her.
I know.
Aww.
It was just he didn't deserve that.
No.
Okay, guy talk. So he confronts Valentin about the robbery, and he's just laughing it off. Oh, how do you like the fight? But then later on, he said, "I know you know." And he doesn't want to be, I guess, sent back to Russia, him and his friends, and they have no other way of making money. And Guy Talk, just being the stand-up guy that he is, he feels bad. And
he's such a nice guy, too.
I know. So I think it maybe makes him really go deep into thought. And then later on, he's telling Mook, I don't know if I want to do this job anymore. And she kind of did exactly what you thought she would do.
I was so mad at her. Yep, she did. She wants him to be that, like, kind of up-and-coming guy who's like a go-getter, corporate ladder type thing, a tough guy. Yeah.
And you had mentioned that in your culture, not everybody, but some people.
It's a thing that you kind of, it's like borderline like gold digger mentality, and I was like, nah, she did it. Dang it.
You had known all along. You knew, huh?
I mean, it was a hunch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Poor guy. We'll talk more about him in a little bit. All right. Chelsea is finally reunited with her love, Rick. So all season long, at very first episode, no, wasn't buying it. But then you do see when she says, "You're my soulmate," and like you see all that stuff. I believed it. I really did, because he wants to live in the past. She wants to bring him to the present and just enjoy their time together, right?
Yes.
She was throwing things out there about the snake bite and all this stuff that she's like she's gonna end up dead, and things happen in threes, and like there was already 2 incidents. Was it the jellyfish? Either way. So I didn't put this together at the start of it, but now looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, so he comes back. They have this beautiful reunion, which I'm glad they spent a lot of time on, especially now. But they are at breakfast, and Jim comes and basically says, "Get the hell out of here after what you just did."
Yeah.
Kind of can't blame him. But he says horrible things about his mother, about Rick's mother, which you didn't need to go there. I think, he hurt you, you want to hurt him, blah, blah, blah.
And about his dad.
And about his dad. Oh, yeah.
Like
it wasn't the
double whammy.
stand-up guy that you thought he was, right? So that sends Rick, sets him off.
Yeah.
And Chelsea, to the bitter end, is just trying to calm him down. No, it's just you and me. It's just about us.
Like to bring him back to the present.
Yes.
Like he keeps going back. And she's like bringing him to focus. Like look at me,
Stay with me, right? Yeah.
And like he was so close.
They had the conversation about they're going to be together forever. It even made her tear up.
They were so close.
Yeah. But Yep. I mean, they will be together forever. But
Oh.
so he actually does the right thing and tries to seek help from the lady who held the meditations for him. But it's not her fault. She has Zion, you know, it's booked. So she said, just wait here for me. He takes his chance when he sees Jim taking a picture with Jacqueline and friends. And he goes and he grabs the gun and he just shoots him.
Shoots him dead.
That's it. That's dead. Done. Shoot him dead. And this was also validated for us. We find out Sri Tala says, this is your dad, which we figured.
Yeah, from very early on,
yeah,
right? But then we kind of like, well, I guess it's not true because it wasn't really addressed. But then, confirmed.
No, you don't find out until he's actually dead, that was daddy. And
that he was actually, when he said your dad wasn't that great, he was actually talking about himself. Which then kind of gives him like a little bit of a humanizing quality. So now, like for a split second, he's like, oh shoot,
damn it. You know, he sees the moment when Jim's bodyguards were off doing their own little thing. So now they hear the shooting, right? So they come a whole shootout ensues, and Rick grabs Chelsea. They're trying to hide. Rick, has a good aim, right?
He both of the bodyguards.
He took them out. And then he turns around to find sweet, sweet, celestial Chelsea laying on the ground, dying, bleeding out. That was so sad. The look in her eyes.
I know.
She couldn't even tell. It was horrible.
And then just like a little moisture coming out of her eye.
Sweet Chelsea.
Like, no.
So he picks her up. She's dead. She's 100% dead.
Yeah.
Right? Picks her up. He's walking away. Guy Talk obviously heard all of this. He grabs the gun that he got back from Tim earlier in another episode, and he's just aiming it at him because we know he's a good aim too. But he's so conflicted, right? But there's Sri Tala, like, go, shoot him,
like,
kill him. Yeah,
like,
take him out. And he does. And they fall in the water together. And in some ways, it's beautiful. They died together. I mean, they will be together forever, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what they wanted. And it was true.
It was very sad.
So that's like the fate part, like the fate.
Yeah.
Love of fate.
Love of fate. But, something good came out of it for Guy Talk. It looks like he's promoted to bodyguard.
Yeah. And he probably got the girl.
And he got the girl.
But he's probably going to feel so bad about himself, right?
Yeah.
Because in, like, Buddhism, like, you don't do that. I mean, I don't think really any religions want you to go kill people. But,
well, the monk said in the very beginning, the very first shot you hear the monk speaking, he said, there's no such thing as resolution.
Oh, yes.
Doesn't that just sum it all up for all of them?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep. Ooh. Because once you do have resolution, like Chelsea and Rick, you die.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what else do you need?
Yeah.
Like, you were in love. That's all. Boom,
I mean,
dead.
this is the tone of White Lotus, all 3 seasons, so it's not really...
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of how it goes, but all in all, this season felt different than the other 2 seasons, but I think that's probably better. You don't want them all to be the same.
Right.
It was a little slower, took its time. There were some red herrings, I think. I mean, I don't really understand the whole point of... I guess I understand the point of the Russians and the robbery, just to show that Guy Talk wasn't showing that he was proving to be very good at his job.
Yes.
I thought he wasn't good at it.
Right.
But I guess.
Yeah. Overall, I also felt like it didn't feel the same. And it was, to me, throughout the season, I wasn't that quite into it. But by the finale and kind of where it all comes together, I did really like it.
They did a good job, right?
Especially this finale was beautiful. The last 2 episodes, with the whole last week, it was the cross-cutting with the boxing, and this time was with the Thai dancing.
Yeah.
And I just really liked that, how that was kind of woven in. And just the different, the different families, the dynamics, the girls, the friends,
Yeah.
Like, a lot of it, there was a lot of, like, really deep things. Like, I did see where there was, like, spiritual questions not resolved, which I love that, yeah.
Yep.
So...
There is a 4th season. Do you have any predictions of where they'll go?
I don't know.
I'm going to think somewhere like South America.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
It's not tropical. So Italy wasn't tropical, right? It's like Mediterranean.
Mediterranean, right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
South America?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That would be cool.
I don't know. Maybe. Well, either way, do you have any predictions where you think, where you'd like to see them go?
No, I don't know.
We never know with Mike White.
I'm very happy that it's even just coming back.
That's really cool. I mean,
thank you.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
wherever they go, they boost the economy, the tourist economy.
Oh,
so I saw an
that's so
article
cool.
where like the Thailand tourism, board, like all kinds of like new hotel reservations,
That's so
that
cool.
type of stuff. So everyone's like, please shoot it in our country. They probably don't even know yet.
Oh, that's
I
true.
wonder.
Anyway, yeah, it was really fun. It was a different kind of tone. The other seasons were funnier, in my opinion, but it doesn't have to be funny. This is very
Yes,
heavy
we-
stuff.
We got Parker Posey,
Okay, you're right.
which she has to be a carryover, kind of like
Oh,
Tanya, right?
please. She's the new Tanya,
Yes,
for sure.
for sure.
All right, everybody, let us know what you thought of this episode of The White Lotus and the whole season as well. And then we'll see you around somewhere. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.